The author of Hebrews declares that any biblical teacher should have a basic understanding of the oracles of God, and the oracles of God are equated to milk. Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. For though by this time you ought to be teachers, you have need again for someone to teach you the elementary principles of the oracles of God, and you have come to need milk and not solid food. What are the oracles of God? What is the milk? What is our foundation? Paul, in Romans, begins to teach on the value of being a Jew and the value of the commandment of circumcision, to which he cites the foundation of the oracles of God as a primary importance and also the reasoning for his conclusion of the value of circumcision. Romans chapter 3. Then what advantage has the Jew? Or what is the benefit of circumcision? Great in every respect. First of all, that they were entrusted with the oracles of God. But still, what are the oracles of God that was passed on to Israel? Acts chapter 7 provides the answer. This is the one who was in the congregation in the wilderness together with the angel who is speaking to him on Mount Sinai, and who was with our fathers, and he received the living oracles to pass on to you. The oracles of God is everything that Moses wrote, the law of God. It is what Paul cited in proving the value of circumcision and learning from those who were originally entrusted with the law of God. It is what the author of Hebrews states is the basic milk for the believer and the basic foundational criteria that should exist in any teacher. Thus, if a proclaimed teacher does not understand and teach the law of God as written by Moses, then perhaps we should do as the author of Hebrews suggests, at least understand and practice the milk. Some people get stuck at the cross when entering the faith and forget to learn and practice the faith. It is cross paralysis, if you will. The author of Hebrews encourages us to not get stuck there. He continues in the very next verse. Hebrews chapter 6. Therefore, leaving the elementary teaching about the Christ, let us press on to maturity, not laying again a foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith toward God, of instruction about washings and laying on of hands, and the resurrection of the dead and eternal judgment. And this we will do if God permits. We are to at least move on to the oracles of God, the milk, the law of God, the Torah as written by Moses, and not be stuck at the elementary teachings about the Christ. We are not to be stuck in the immaturity, but to move on into maturity in the oracles of God, what Moses wrote. Sadly, the reality is that a lot of people are not even drinking the milk yet, the law of God. Just a thought.